Okay, good afternoon. My name's Mike Slosky. I'm a senior product manager with Curtiss-Wright. I look after power architecture single board computers, ARM single board computers, do some I/O stuff, Mike of all trades, I should say, jack of all trades. And so what I want to talk to you about this afternoon is safety certifiable COTS. That's a trend that we're starting to see more and more of in the COTS business. Curtiss-Wright is in the COTS business. And so it's something we figured we'd talk to you about today. Okay, so what's the increase in demand? Why? Well, part of it is there's ongoing digitization of cockpits. Okay, H1, UH-60, all that type of stuff is coming, right? And so that is driving a lot more demand, specifically when it comes down to the hardware that goes along with it. There's a lot of graphics that goes along with that type of stuff. We're seeing more commercial technology advancements, and so people are wanting to use the latest devices, the latest graphics chips, etc. And primes can no longer stay up to speed with all that hardware, all that technology, all the stuff that goes into producing that and maintaining it. We're seeing also an increasing number of aircraft, specifically mil aircraft flying in commercial airspace. A lot more drones up there, right? The FAA is looking at how do you certify all these drones that'll be flying up there in the space. And we're also seeing a lot of synthetic vision systems, specifically for reduced visibility, landing both in the military side as well as the commercial aerospace side. We've got a program going on right now that the program is starting off with the commercial side and will eventually port that to the military side, and they want to use the same hardware, right? So therefore, it's making reuse of stuff that's already out there, okay? And so the key market trends we're also seeing is cost, right? All the primes are looking to reduce cost. You know, as we saw earlier this morning, defense budgets are down. They're going to remain flat over the next couple of years. There's no more cost-plus type of programs, and so people can't get in there and start jacking up the price a bit. Primes are starting to be required to invest, and so that means they're looking for the cheapest way to get a demonstrator out there, cheapest way to get something into the hands of their customers in order to win those programs. Commercial aircraft manufacturers, as I said before, are looking at decreasing their costs, and they're also looking at doubling up on what they do, both from a commercial side and a military side. Schedule. You know, schedule is the next biggest thing, time to market. People want to get to market a lot quicker than they used to. They can't afford to take a new chipset, a new graphics chipset, I/O, create the cards from that, go through the certification, create the artifact sets, get that into the hands of the certification authorities, and they can't continue to do that time and time again. And then there's risk, okay? Increased, risk impacts cost, meaning the more risk you have, the more cost you have. Always developing with the latest devices increases the risk. And risk also has an impact to schedule. And so, now one thing too, and I'm not sure how familiar you are with certification, but certification costs a lot of money. Okay, and so if you're going to develop something specifically for one application, right, that costs a lot. If you can develop that, share it over multiple applications, which is what COTS has done for the last 20, 25 years, it makes sense from deploying that type of mentality into our primes and our customers' hands. And so, the increase in demand for COTS, right, common avionics. Our customers are starting to look to make use of something they've designed for the mil side on the commercial side, and to design what they have on the commercial side into the mil side. Okay, the military wires are being forced into doing more hardware at a 254 perspective, software at a 178C perspective, right? And if you can take that cost of developing that hardware, spread that over many platforms, that reduces the cost, that reduces the risk. Specifically for something that's already deployed in one and selling it to another customer, that reduces his risk dramatically. Schedule, okay? Off-the-shelf solutions like we've had in COTS for years and years and years really reduces the prime's costs, be it commercial or a military side, in deploying that solution quicker. And so COTS vendors have, over the years, developed the ability to get the product out there quickly, to maintain it, and to keep it in the field longer. And so that means final systems, the time to market to get there, the time to get to an initial prototype, the proof of concept to a customer, because a lot of programs now are looking for a proof of concept before a product is awarded and a win is awarded, right? And so getting to the proof of concept with an off-the-shelf product and then continuing on that in the development makes a lot more sense than developing something from start. And then there's the cost and risk associated with that. You know, if we can reduce the cost, we can reduce the risk, we can get that product out there quicker for our customers and the primes in developing their products as well. Let's say you're a avionics integrator, right? You've got experience with FAA certification programs, et cetera. You've had to design custom hardware for every program that you do, just because of the fact there is something special about that, okay? But you're starting to come under pressure. Cost, schedule, time to market, affordability, right? Because not everybody can afford to pay for a full development from start to finish, create the hardware, the artifacts, get that through certification. Now, from a COTS perspective, we're not saying we're going to take that product and get it certified for you. But the fact is we're going to take that product, take the hardware, provide the certification evidence and artifacts such that you can combine that with your system to get to certification quicker, right? Because you're certifying the final product. You're not certifying bits and pieces in the product. And so it's the product that needs to be certified. But if you can get the evidence and the artifacts to get you there quicker, that reduces your time to market, okay? Now, what COTS has always done is provided that quick time to market, provide a product that is there, right? And so COTS vendors, too, tend to have complete solutions, right? Like from single board computers, there's the graphics goes along with it. Almost every system today in avionics has graphics associated with it, right? There's a software that goes along with that. Most COTS vendors, when it comes down to certifying or certification from a software perspective, are partnering with software partners. There's Wind River for their VxWorks 653, and we saw that this morning on the rail system. Green Hills has their 2MP. Lynx OS has their 178. There's Cisco. There's DDCI. There's a lot of customers that use and have used those primes before. And so from a COTS vendor's perspective, we team with those in order to provide the solution that you want, rather than a canned solution that says, oh, it's this processor with this OS, so you want somebody else? Well, I can't do that for you. And so we prime with software vendors in order to get that solution to you quicker. Now, the price of your final solution is not driven by low volumes, because generally if someone's creating a solution from a ground up just for one specific application, they don't get the volume that demands lower price. The COTS model does, because we try to sell that to many people, so therefore the COTS drives down the price. And that's one reason we're seeing a lot of primes coming to us, is because they're looking for the benefit of COTS in their cost model, as well as the cost of artifacts, okay? And then there's that reduced NRE, right? Once you have a card, once you have the artifacts goes with it, all you have to do is then pluck it in a box, although we're actually seeing a lot of customers coming to us and saying, give us the full solution. So they want a box, they want the cards, the graphics, the I/O, all packaged so that they can add the value, right? And they don't have to worry about the underlying hardware. And so just a few numbers for you. Okay, the cost to develop a safety certifiable SBC is probably around $1.5 million to $2 million. By the time you design it, by the time you get artifacts, the artifacts should even cost a bit more, depending on the complexity of that SBC, right? But if we took a certifiable COTS SBC with a 653 BSP, right, and that would be, say, a Wind River BSP, we can actually provide that to a customer for about $35K, right? And so you can see the development cost is what? More than 20% lower, okay? And the artifact kits, too, we tend to sell them at a lower price. Why? Because we're developing it to sell to many customers. We're not developing one artifact kit that'll go with one product to one end solution, okay? And as well as with that 35K, right, your time to get to certifiable application is a lot lower because you don't have to worry about developing that hardware. And then that artifact kit, not everybody needs that artifact kit from day one. Okay, and so customers can buy that artifact kit towards the end of their development or when they need to take it for 2 certifications. Even a lot of mil-aero programs that say they want 254 hardware don't necessarily have to take it to an end certification, but they want to be able to have the artifacts available, or they also want to be able to claim the increased robustness going through a 254 program does. And so a lot of customers would say, well, I really don't need the hardware 254. I want the software at 178C. You say a Dell A or Dell B. The hardware, that could be C, that could be B. I haven't decided yet, right? We basically developed the hardware to a Dell A level, right? So therefore, if you want Dell C artifact kit, it will be a little bit less. The Dell A will be a little bit more because there's a lot more to that. So we also have to look at the supply paradigm, right? Every program that's safety certifiable tends to have a long life, right? Because you develop it, you're deploying it in helicopters, et cetera, and you go take a look at, say, the H-1 and the UH-60, right? Those things are now going through glass cockpit upgrades, right? Well, that upgrade will take X number of years, and then it has to be supported for more years than you care to think about it. And so safety certifiable products always have long runways because you don't want to redevelop that stuff because it takes you a long time to get to certification. So many of the COTS suppliers, like us and the Abacos, et cetera, all have longevity supply programs. And why? Because we've got that experience dealing with mil-aero customers that have a program that takes 5 to 10 to 12 years to deploy. Then they want to support that or continue deploying it for another 5 to 10 with a runway of at least 15 to 20 years of support after that. We've put those programs and those facilities in place in order to do that. And so therefore, from a COTS perspective, right, the primes don't have to worry about it because we worry about it through all the back-end longevity supply and longevity repair services that we offer as part of the service that we do as a COTS vendor. Okay, and so certified COTS, right, basically helps you to reduce costs, improve quality, right, the reliability as well because we've designed it and maintain it, and then the maintaining all that equals a lower risk, right, because you can in essence get going quicker. You basically have lowered the risk because you've shared that risk across many programs. Integrators can forward or can focus on the value add because the value add is putting that system in place, putting the algorithms that they want to use, putting all the other stuff that goes on top of a mission computer, all the little things that goes onto the graphics, et cetera. That's on our forte. That's the integrators or the primes forte. And then also you can start sooner. You don't have to wait to develop it. You don't have to buy little or cobble something and get together in order to show it. And so that basically means your time to market is shorter, your deployment is quicker, and your reliability is generally higher as well. And so that's what we wanted to show you today from a trend that we're seeing, and that's certifiable COTS. Thank you.